can talk that same language. There aren't too many of us in Congress. There are only 2 of us who are licensed engineers. Out of 435, 2. Now there are 242 attorneys. So we like the odds on that when we talk about infrastructure and how important that is for us. But let me go back just to thank you all. And thank particularly for the governor and Shelley. Shelley for crafting the legislation, taking credit, working over there to giving us a bipartisan piece of legislation that was needed in West Virginia. And then working with the governor on pushing this thing forward. But let me go back. If you go back just 4, 5, 6 years ago and working with Governor Justice, he said then Corridor H was the most important highway project he wanted to do in West Virginia. He's been saying this, and he was humbly making those comments, but I can tell you from firsthand how important that is. Because here, what has bothered me about Corridor H, it's 50 years. We started this, an interchange at Weston in 1972 under Arch Moore, Shelley's father. 50 years later, we still haven't finished it. Now I'm gonna, because I don't have to yell at him because he's got it. He understands it. He definitely gets it. But over the years, if this Corridor H had been connected to Charleston or to Wheeling or Parkersburg and Morgantown, it would have been finished by now. But because it's in this rural section of West Virginia, it just kind of got pushed aside, Mayor. People just ignored this until he came back on board. Now with the governor, we're going to push this thing forward and finish this. It's time. Your patience, I can't understand how, after 50 years, why it's taken so long with this. Now, when it came to, Jimmy made reference to the infrastructure bill, it wasn't a hard vote at all. This is what we needed in West Virginia. Get this infrastructure. Having been in construction all my life, I was telling Jimmy earlier, my first job was with the State Road Commission back in 65 and 66. Back when it was called the State Road Commission back then. And we've known about the condition of our roads. So I knew about the failures that were occurring all over before the public became aware of it. Before the U.S. News and World Report ranked us last in the nation. Before the American Society of Civil Engineers published their report card about our conditions of infrastructure in West Virginia, where they rank us last, D's and F's. So just think about that. If your son or daughter came back home from school with a report card that had D's and F's on it, what would you do? You'd do something about it. And Jim Justice has done something about it. He's made this commitment to be able to do that. And what we had to do in Washington, we had to do the same thing. We had to vote for it. Now, there are people saying, oh, we should wait. We should wait. Folks, we've waited 50 years for this. This is not a time to be waiting. This is going to give us the infrastructure we need. It's going to give us access. It's going to give us jobs. All these are positive things. Don't wait. And don't tell me that these are wasteful spending that's in this legislation. Because I've got to tell you, is this Corridor H, is this bridge wasteful spending? No. How about the water lines down in central West Virginia, Clarksburg, wherever they may be? Are they wasteful spending? Is broadband coverage, is that wasteful spending? Think about that. This is a chance for us to emerge. We don't have all those excess revenues to be able to do it. But with this infrastructure bill and combined with the leadership of Jimmy and Jim Justice, we're going to move forward. I'm really excited about this possibility with this thing. So with that, I thank all of you. Thank you for your patience. But for me, my patience has run thin. It's time to start construction. And that's something that I love construction. It's one thing I miss all the time in being in Congress, is to be part of seeing something coming out of the ground and knowing that it's going to benefit the state of West Virginia. As a 7th generation West Virginia, it's time for us to emerge on the national scene, and we're going to do it with this infrastructure. God bless all of you. Thank you so much for Corridor H.